welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Angie and I'm a chemist who loves makeup. And today we're going to be talking about the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick. And that is because they are discontinuing it. So it may seem weird that I am talking about a product they are discontinuing, but I had to bring this up to you because Sephora and Bite Beauty's website is now selling them half off at $13. This is one of my top 3 favorite lipstick formulas. So I really wanted to make sure that I talked about it with you guys before it gets discontinued, before you can't find any colors that are on sale. So I was trying to do it as soon as I found out that this happened. I was very sad product, but it is what it is. What do I love about this lipstick? It is very, very pigmented. It goes on very smooth, very creamy. It is not drying at all, but it is also not heavy feeling. A lot of these very high pigmented lipsticks are very thick and not very comfortable, and that is not this. It is very comfortable wearing. It wears very evenly as you wear it. It is not long wearing, but I wouldn't really expect that out of a tube lipstick anyway. So if you are looking for a good lipstick, you're like me, don't want to spend $26 on this lipstick. In fact, I never actually bought a full-size Bite Beauty lipstick until this moment. I would always buy the little mini set. I got the $25 like little Christmas set that they would come out with. And so I took advantage of this. I bought cardamom and honeycomb. Honeycomb was actually a replacement for my little mini honeycomb because somehow in my purse, the little like top of it came off, and then my key somehow got jammed in there, and that lipstick was gone. So now I have one of my favorite colors back, so I'm very, very excited for that. So now let's kind of talk about what this whole brand is about. So this is supposed to be beauty that's good enough to eat, and this makes sense. All of their products are lip focused. I do not believe they have anything that's not lip focused, like not any foundations, nothing like that. And I think it's supposed to be food grade, but I'm not positive if they're food grade because I can't find that information on their website. So this whole good enough to eat thing makes sense. It's only for your lips, and if you are going to put it on your lips, there's a very high likelihood that you are going to ingest some of that as you wear it throughout the day. Not excessive amounts of this by any means, but you're still ingesting it nonetheless. So this brand is one of those very big on the whole natural concept. So the packaging says that they are 86% natural, and they even go so far as on the ingredients list to label which ones are natural, label which ones are organic, and that's not really what the ingredients list is for, but that's what they chose to do with it. So also one thing to know, a lot of times when you do see something say natural, that doesn't always mean that it's naturally derived. It could match what is found in nature. And also one thing to note is even if it is taken from a natural source, that doesn't mean that it didn't go through processing. A lot of these natural ingredients do have to go through some sort of processing. So even though they may have been nature derived, that does not mean they have not been processed at all. Now, a lot of their ingredients are more like oil, so they've probably been cold pressed, so there's that. That's just any sort of brand that claims to be natural. That's not a Bite Beauty specific thing. That being said, natural doesn't really mean anything. There's not any regulation or sort of certification for natural, so it's just brands putting out there what they say is natural. Knowing that, I don't really take natural into account when I'm looking at these brands. So let's first talk about this Resveratrol that could be majorly butchered, but in any case, they claim that there is 5 milligrams in this formula. Now, there are 4.35 grams of lipstick, so that only equates to about 0.1%. They even say it's put in there as an antioxidant, and you can find it in things like peanuts, blueberries, cocoa, dark chocolate, so it is an antioxidant. So supposedly if you apply it topically, it's supposed to have skin calming properties, reverse environmental impacts on the skin, but you are only putting this on your lips, and even supplements that they have look to be about 100 milligrams, and whereas this is only like 5 milligrams, so the amount that you are getting at any given moment on your lips isn't that much, so I wouldn't really take that into account. If anything, it probably helps the formula. So now we're going to talk about the 14% of the ingredients that are not natural according to the Bite Beauty. So there's not many. There's polymethyl methacrylate, there is the flavor and aroma, and there are some of the colorants that could potentially be in the lipstick. It just depends on the color, about the colorants. So polymethyl methacrylate is part of shatterproof glass. Think like plexiglass. It can be used as filler for wrinkles, bone cement, so a lot of multiple uses, so that's kind of a cool thing to note. But in this case, I think this helps this lipstick apply smoothly over the skin and aids in lubrication. That is the major non-natural ingredient in this formula. So the rest of the ingredients are a lot of oils, a lot of extracts, a lot of that waxes. The primary oil in this is castor oil. There's also jojoba oil. So a lot of things that we see typically from the lipsticks, there's not anything super special in terms of like what they put in there. The reason why they said that they're discontinuing this is they're coming out with new formulas, and one thing I read said they're coming out with vegan formulas, so that means they're going to take out things such as the beeswax, which is not vegan, comes from bees, and carmine, which is a red dye that comes from beetles. And there are a lot, for lipstick purposes, there are a lot of dyes they could use. For instance, red 6, red 7, we've talked about in the past, is not approved for eye use, but it is perfectly acceptable in lipsticks. I don't think going vegan is the sole reason they're changing their formula, especially for a lipstick that's so popular. So I used to hear a lot of people talk about this lipstick in the past. I've even seen people go like to the Bite Beauty. They have their Bite Beauty lip lab, but in Toronto, I think is where they're based. I've seen like a lot of influencers go there and they'll like create a lipstick. They're in a lab, super cool, like dream field trip. But they did say that they do make these in small batches. These lipsticks are made what looks to be in-house, so they probably don't produce a very large number, or they didn't initially. So my theory on why they're doing away with this is probably just because they've gotten too big. I think scalability is part of the reason why they're redoing this whole formula. Because for one, sourcing ingredients. So a lot of these are organic, or they say they're organic, and they are from natural sources. So there's sometimes only so much that you can scale up. A lot of these kind of organic farming, they can't scale up easily because there's only so much land they have to grow these. They can only grow so much in a year. It's not the most scalable method. Like organic farming doesn't really scale that well. So they may not be able to get all of these oils that they have in there, or all of these extracts in there, if the supplier can't provide them. And that's gonna make it really hard when you're a top seller at Sephora, and Sephora is gonna want you to fill orders because they are not gonna want to have their shelves out of stock all the time. So another one of these things is could be optimizing their formula. They put 12, I think I read they put 12 different oils in this formula, and I would be very surprised if taking out a few of those oils actually really affected the formula. Some of them are just put in there for marketing purposes in order to say that it's in there. Like for instance, they could say they have 12 different oils, but we don't even know, considering some of those fall below the flavor, we don't know how much flavor's in there. If it's only like 1%, some of those oils could be less than 1% and probably not have a whole effect. So maybe they're trying to optimize their formula, and then they don't have to deal with as much in their supply chain. On the Sephora page for the Amuse Bouche lipsticks, it did say that they hand make these batches. If this is at their own facility that they have in Toronto, I don't know how much space they have there or anything. They might not have enough space at their own facility to make everything. So it might be easiest for them to take this lipstick and go to a manufacturer and work with them to be able to produce more lipsticks there, whereas they may produce like other things back at their own facility. So we'll just have to see what they come out with. I'm really curious. I'm going to compare whatever their new lipstick is to their Amuse Bouche lipstick, and hopefully it is just as good, if not better. But for now, if you like lipstick, if you've been wanting new lipstick, they have a whole lot of colors available right now. I went to a Sephora on Saturday and they still had most of the colors there. So I would highly recommend going on Sephora, going to a Sephora. Get these while they are only $13, because for $13, this is a really good lipstick. So I wanted to bring this video so I could share this great deal with you. If you like this video, give the video a like, and comment down below what was one of your favorite products that they discontinued. And as always, I will leave resources down below as well as a link to these lipsticks. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!